Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about Mr. Ken. I'm so excited! I'm so excited about this doll. So this is the Himbo Ken from the new Barbie Looks line. This is the whole line. This is the Barbie Looks. I think this is the series 3, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I already did a video unboxing like pretty much every one of them except for her and him. This is the one we're gonna be looking at today. I just didn't buy her. I found her kind of boring, but I unboxed the other 4 in another video. But today we're gonna talk about Himbo Ken, and I can't wait. So excited. So I actually was so excited about him, I bought 2 of him instead of buying one of the other brunette girl. So this one I think was probably the most anticipated. I think he sold out like instantly, if I'm not mistaken, because I wasn't able to get him from Mattel Creations, which is why I'm doing him like now as opposed to back when I did that other video. He sold out so fast on Amazon and Mattel Creations, and then also I was able to get him on Entertainment Earth. So that's not a website I've ever ordered from before, but people recommended it to me. And at the time of me filming this, now I can't promise this will still be the case, but at the time of me filming this, he was still available. I actually almost went back and bought more of him because I think he's just like such a perfect body donor for any sort of like buff, muscular dude character, which is not something that we get often from Barbie. We don't get a ton of like buff, muscular dudes. Usually the Kens are a little bit more like, they're usually like fit, they're usually pretty muscular, but they're not like buff, like bodybuilder dudes. Okay, so get him out of the box. Barbie Looks dolls are super simple. If you've never had one of these, they kind of, it's like, it is what it is. You get what you see there. You come with a little certificate. And of course the little doll stand. So I also want to preface this by saying I'm not usually much of a Barbie collector. In fact, I usually try to refrain from talking about Barbie too much because whenever I make a video about Barbie, a bunch of Barbie collectors are like, why do you talk about Barbie? You're such an idiot, etc., etc. For some reason, it's like, if you don't know every single thing that has ever been known about Barbie and you say her holy name on the internet, the Barbie collectors like come for you. So I usually don't do a ton of videos about Barbara because of that specifically, because I'm just not a huge Barbie collector, honestly. I just don't care that much. But I do like Barbie. I just want to state, I do like Barbie. I just think the gatekeeping in the Barbie collector community is honestly kind of nuts, because it's very different from other dolls. It's like other doll lines like Rainbow High and stuff like that. I feel like people aren't really like that. Even Integrity. You would think Integrity toys, like there would be like a lot of like gatekeeping and like stuff like that, but there really isn't. The Integrity collectors are like super welcoming and inviting. And I'm not saying all Barbie collectors like this. I know a ton of really nice, like super cool Barbie collectors that don't give a shit if you don't know every single face mold that was ever created. But for some reason, when I talk about Barbie, I get the nastiest fucking comments on my videos for some reason. I don't know what it is about Barbara. Okay, let's get him out of here. Okay. Wow, he is buff. He's a really buff. Okay, sweet. So I do have the King Ocean Ken doll. I'm gonna grab him as well because somebody on Instagram posted about this. So my King Ocean Ken doll is still in the box, but he has almost the same body as this Ken doll. This Ken doll is a little bit more articulated. I think he's a little bit buffer, but their body type is almost exactly the same. And I didn't even realize that until I saw somebody post about it on Instagram. So that's pretty cool because you can get the like buff Ken of the King Ocean Ken without having to pay like $100 for him. And this one's more articulated. The other thing about Barbie Looks dolls, they really don't come in like very exciting outfits. This particular line's very colorful, but it's not like, it's just not that spectacular. He comes in a t-shirt and some shorts, which is fine. So here's his face. I think he's super cute. I've seen people compare this face mold to, I can't remember the name of the face mold, but there's a face mold that's I think is very similar that has like dimples or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I can see the resemblance, but I'm also terrible with face molds. So like when people talk about face molds, I genuinely start to think I have like full on face blindness because to me, like they all kind of look very similar. But I do love this face. The screening is also really cute too. He's got like the 5 o'clock shadow and everything. His hair is like a solid rock, so it's super gelled, which you can wash out really easily. I've done that with most of these other Ken dolls in the past. And then he has these like light blue shoes. They're okay. they're fine. There's nothing great about him. Let's get his clothes off and take a look at his articulation. The real draw to the Barbie looks dolls is the articulation, honestly. But yeah, he is like truly like really buff compared to the other body types. I should go grab one. It's so weird that they don't have nipples. Is that weird? Or is it weirder that I think they should have nipples? I'm not sure. I feel like the way that dolls treat the human body has made me question whether I'm weird to think that they took the nipples away or whether it's made me question, like, is it weird that they took the nipples away, or is it weirder that I think they should have the nipples? I'm really not sure. But anyway, here's the body comparison. There is a pretty big difference, I think, in the bulk of this one. It's not getting to like ridiculous inhuman bodybuilder proportions, but it is still, I mean, he's pretty buff, honestly, compared to what we're used to with Ken. This is really more so what I think of when I think of Ken's body. Like, look at the difference. Holy shit. It's pretty significant. The legs are a bit thicker too. I don't feel like taking his pants off though. The downside to this though, the true downside, is that it's difficult to find clothes to fit these bodies. The ones that I've been told fit are like action figure clothes, because this is more of like an action figure kind of body, which is pretty cool that we get that with the Ken doll. So I do think action figure clothes will fit, like nice action figure clothes. I've done some videos on that in the past, redressing Ken dolls. So for articulation, Barbie Looks dolls have tons of articulation. So they of course have like the head tilt and twist. They have the shoulders. They have the twisted bicep piece there. The double jointed elbow, which his double jointed elbow doesn't do a lot for him because he's just so buff that he actually can't really bend his arm much more than that just because of his muscles, which honestly is pretty realistic. If you've ever seen somebody that has a lot of muscles, they tend to have trouble bending their arms like that. He of course has the wrist articulation as well. And then they have chest articulation, hip articulation. They have a twist at the thigh, the double jointed knee, which his knees can get the full double joint because they didn't make his legs like insanely bulky, but his legs are still bulkier than you would expect. And then also the ankle articulation. But also just the definition of muscle on this doll is something that you don't usually see on any Barbies, in my experience. Like, they actually sculpted muscle into his legs and everything. So if you wanted to do like a full body blushing on this doll, it would really pop. It would really pop on like the actual tone of his muscles, which would be super cool. Oh, and then also his hands are, he only comes with one, so all these dolls only come with one set of hands, and his are like a grippy hands. I don't know what he's gripping, but sure. That is one of the great things about the Barbie Looks dolls, is that their price point is so low for the actual doll that you get. It makes me want to make him an outfit or to buy him a fancy outfit. I wonder, actually, he'd probably fit Integrity Toys. Let's do it. Let's just fucking do it. All right. I just want to see. I want to see what it would look like. The only Integrity male that I have currently in my collection is the Thiago doll. I used to have some others, but I always think I'm gonna like Integrity men, and then I always sell them. So Thiago's the only one who has stayed in my collection. Which, by the way, I've never really talked about this doll much. This doll's kind of, I hate to bring Integrity into a Barbie video just because, like, to be completely honest, Integrity usually kind of blows them out of the water. But let's see if he can fit into this outfit real quick. And then this is them naked back to back. So for the record, this doll right here, if you're not familiar with Integrity Toys, this doll is about $160-ish is what it retailed at. And lately this doll goes for like insane prices on eBay. I don't know why this doll is so valuable, but people are obsessed with Thiago. But this doll at 20 bucks is pretty comparable in a lot of ways. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, as far as the dolls go, the face screenings on Integrity dolls are pretty incredible compared to Barbie usually. So personally, I think the face, like Thiago's face, kind of like beats Ken's face out of the water, but everything else, like as far as like the materials and everything, there's no huge difference in my opinion. This doll is also actually more articulated. So if you're an articulation person, you're gonna get more value out of a Barbie Looks doll than even the really expensive Integrity dolls. So let's see if these pants fit. They do fit. Just barely. Let's see if I can get this little corset on. I love this. This like corset for men, so fierce. Like, it's not a real corset because it doesn't have like boning and stuff, but it's very much like a piece of like weird avant-garde men's clothing that's like inspired by a corset. So he does actually fit integrity clothes pretty well, other than the fact that the shirt sleeves were sewn up, so I couldn't actually get the sleeve over his hand, unfortunately. But the actual corset piece fits him decently. The jacket, of course, fits. It's just an oversized jacket, so that's kind of whatever. The pants also fit him pretty well, and the shoes fit him pretty well, too. So that's all great. These shoes actually do lace up and tie. I'm not gonna tie them because this is coming right off, to be honest. But overall though, I mean, he looks decent. I feel like this outfit doesn't really match his vibe super well. His face is a little goofy. Like, I feel like the reason that these kinds of outfits work on integrity dolls is because their faces are so like fashion and like mean looking. Like Thiago's really like, Thiago looks like he's gonna be mean to me. Whereas Ken just looks like he's goofy and he wants to have a fun time. We're gonna put, I don't know, what do you think? Do you think this looks good? Do you think this looks good on him? I mean, it obviously looks better than his like base outfit, but like the base outfit's just kind of like a placeholder. I need to find something for him to wear. I don't know what it's gonna be. It's not gonna be this. This is too, Thiago looks too good in this. I can't switch this off of Thiago. This is like his thing. I was also thinking, I know, now listen, I'm not delusional. So don't even, you know, before I even say this out loud, just know that I'm not delusional. I know that I look nothing like this body type wise. I'm not nearly this muscular, but I was thinking about potentially using him to finally make a mini-me. I've never actually had a mini-me doll before. And I know that's like a big trend that every doll collector does, but I don't know. I've never really related to a doll enough to do that. But I do think that his head sculpt, I mean, I think his head sculpt would be not a terrible one for me, honestly. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. My doll customizer people, what do you think? You would know better than I do. But I think his head sculpt looks okay. I wouldn't have to do much with his hair. I kind of have like a very similar hairstyle. I just have to make him an outfit. I have to make him like a nice patterned shirt. And then of course I would probably want to repaint his face. My face does not look like that, but I think the shape is close enough to start. I don't know. What do you think? What do you people think? What do you doll people, those of you that are really good at like customizations and repaints and stuff, what do you think? Do you think he would be a good base for me to do a mini-me or no? Or am I just that? Am I actually delusional? I'd love to know. I always wanted to do it with the blonde Ken. I just didn't want to reroot his hair. And I've never in my life had blonde hair. So it just didn't make any sense. So really what I'm clinging to here is the fact that I don't have to reroot his hair. He has the same hair color as me. More than anything. I feel like this outfit is giving like, it's like a kindergarten teacher who like also has to like work the crossing guard duty in the morning, but then also like wants to go to the gym later and like doesn't really want to change. It's like, it's a multi-purpose outfit. He can be a crossing guard, a kindergarten teacher, and also he can work out in these clothes. That's kind of what it's giving. So I kind of do like the color of the shoes though. Okay, but anyway, so this is the Barbie looks Ken. This is Ken, by the way, if you're gonna look him up, if you're trying to buy him, this is Ken number 18 or doll number 18. They don't really have names, so they're whatever you want them to be. But I actually really like him. I'm really happy with him. He's exactly what I thought he would be. The looks dolls are always exactly what you expect them to be, which is one of my favorite things about them. There's no surprises. There's no like guessing what's gonna be the surprise. It's like not like that. It's just, you get exactly what you paid for, and I think he's great. So if you do like doll videos, definitely check out this doll video over here. I'm constantly talking about dolls. But thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.